Vaping is under the microscope in Washington lately after Florida and Georgia both reported new fatalities from a lung disease that resembles a rare form of pneumonia, bringing the total deaths attributed to vaping to 11. Now, the epidemic is also affecting stocks, with tobacco giant Imperial Brands falling more than 10% on this news. Right now it's down 11%. Florida Congresswoman Donna Shalala is taking on vaping with her bill. It's called Reversing the Youth Tobacco Epidemic Act of 2019, and she joins us now from D.C. Congresswoman, thanks for coming on, and tell us about the bill.
Well, the bill basically increases the age to 21 and bans all flavors as well as advertising. It basically creates the same kinds of rules that we have now for tobacco. Vaping, a quarter of all of the 12th graders are vaping now. They have no idea of the effects of this, and we made real efforts to get kids to stop smoking cigarettes, and now the tobacco companies have pivoted and are attacking our kids again. So this is a bill focused on young people to prevent them from using these instruments.
Congresswoman, it seems like vaping right now has become sort of a nonpartisan issue. You have both Dems and Republicans supporting some kind of quick action on vaping, including President Trump.
Absolutely, as were cigarettes when focused on children. So this is a big public health issue. And both parties, including the President of the United States, the Speaker of the House, the Majority Leader of the Senate, are all supporting eliminating access for young people. But we should warn everybody about vaping, because this is a dangerous, dangerous situation.
And what do you think about the actions of companies like Juul, for example? We know that their CEO is stepping down and that more than 80% of their sales came from flavored e-cigs. So what are your thoughts on their role when it comes to this teen epidemic of vaping?
They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They have hooked teenagers. Clearly, when you put flavors in, you're focusing on young people. You're not focusing on adults. And these companies are responsible for this epidemic, and we must stop them. But more importantly, we have to convince a generation of young people that this is dangerous, and we must do it by eliminating the possibility of them having access to vaping.
Congresswoman Brian Chung here. So what kind of discussions have you had with the FDA, but then also with maybe the vaping or the cigarette lobby in terms of where the traction is on Capitol Hill for the proper regulation of these types of products? Because, I mean, even with Juul right now kind of downsizing or being crunched down, especially on the advertising side, there are still looming questions about whether or not there's something else down the road that could present health issues as well. And this is all new technology, right? How do we kind of grapple it, and how do you approach it as a lawmaker?
Well, it's going to be much more complicated than it was with cigarettes. This is a more sophisticated product. The fact that Juul has been bought by Philip Morris was the major instigator of targeting children. So we know we're in for a battle, but the fact that we have bipartisan support, that we're catching this now, we got out ahead of it. This bill was introduced in March. We will pass a bill by the end of the year, but we need every state, every school district, every parent to focus on this issue to prevent young people from getting hooked.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.